Quarterbacks are the heartbeat of an NFL offense. Some rise to the occasion, others redefine greatness. Today, we're diving into the most mind-blowing, jaw-dropping quarterback performances in a single game. These aren't just big stat lines. These are moments that shook stadiums and etched their name into history. This is the top 10 greatest quarterback performances in a single NFL game. Number 10, we got Joe Montana versus the Dolphins in the Super Bowl in 1985. Pressure playing the Super Bowl? What pressure? On the biggest stage, Joe Cool dominated and diced up the Dolphins for 331 yards and 3 touchdowns. Rushed for another against another legendary quarterback, Dan Marino, in the Super Bowl. That's a legacy game. And with those stakes, I have to put this performance in. 331 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. A perfect mix of poise and execution. Number 9, Patrick Mahomes versus the Rams, 2018. We're going back to one of the greatest Monday Night Football games of all time. 105 total points. This was Patrick Mahomes' first year starting, and he had an incredible game against the Rams. He had 478 yards passing and 6 touchdowns. He had 3 fourth-quarter touchdown drives, yet somehow lost. Still, it was an electric performance in one of the greatest games ever played. I have this at 9 because he lost and he threw 3 interceptions, but still, it was a phenomenal performance. Mahomes was a magician that day. Number 8, Matt Flynn versus the Lions in 2012. One of the most random explosions ever. This was like Alex Moran and Blue Mountain State going off for 7 touchdowns in the peak episode. In week 17, backup Matt Flynn got the nod to start for the Packers after they decided to rest A-Rod for the playoffs. Matt Flynn dropped a 480-yard game with 6 touchdowns on the Lions. It earned him a fat contract. We know how that ended. One game, one bag for Matt Flynn. 480 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. Number 7, I got Lamar Jackson versus the Dolphins in 2019. Remember?
Not bad for a running back.
Lamar silenced every critic in week 1 of that 2019 season. He had 324 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, a perfect passer rating, and he barely broke a sweat. Later on that year, he won MVP. It was a clinic of efficiency and dominance. Number 6, I got Nick Foles versus the Raiders. Yeah, you heard that right. Nick Foles, the Eagles legend, had a day in week 9 of 2013. Foles led up the Raiders with 7 touchdown passes in just 3 quarters. That's unbelievable. He finished 22 of 28, 406 yards, and a perfect passer rating. It was surgical. It makes you wonder what his numbers would have looked like if he played all 4 quarters. Big Ben versus the Colts in 2014. He was in God mode against the Colts. He became the first player in NFL history with back-to-back 500-yard games. But this one was the crown jewel. 522 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 40 completions. Not a single pick. It looked like he was playing Madden on rookie mode. Number 4, Drew Brees against the Giants. In one of the wildest shootouts ever, the man, the myth, the legend, Drew Brees tossed 7 touchdowns against Eli Manning's Giants. He threw for 511 yards, and the Saints edged out a 52-49 win. Sure, the Giants' defense wasn't great, and they were 30th in scoring defense, but This was some video game stuff by the legend Drew Brees. Another crazy stat about this game, 9 Saints players caught a pass. So Brees was sharing the wealth that day. Number 3, we got Peyton Manning versus the Ravens 2013. The Sheriff in Week 1, national TV. The defending champs in town. Manning put on a show we'll never forget. The rematch against the teams that faced off in the AFC divisional game. The Mile High Miracle. A crushing defeat for Manning and the Broncos. How did Manning respond? He responded with 7 touchdowns, had the NFL record, no interceptions, just cold and calculated dominance, a classic Sheriff's vengeance. Number 2, Tom Brady versus the Falcons. Down 28-3, you know the story. What Brady did was supernatural. He had to play perfect in the second half to complete the comeback with a little choke job by the Falcons, but still, 466 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 43 completions, and the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. You can hate him, but you can't deny this one. This was the moment he became the unquestioned, undisputed GOAT. Tom Brady, when the stakes were the highest, he arose to the occasion. Now, if you're under the age of 60, you'll probably have no clue about this performance. But number 1, we got Norm Van Brocklin versus the Yanks, 1951. It's been over 70 years, and no one's touched this record. He threw for 554 yards and 5 touchdowns in a single game with leather helmets in 1951. Insane. The fact it still stands tells you everything. Will we ever see this record broken? Time will tell. Some quarterbacks build careers, others build moments that live forever. From random backups to living legends, these games prove one thing. When a quarterback catches fire, no defense is safe, and there's no stopping it. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. And if you're new here or you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.